going on YouTube? It's your boy Sam from Team Samurai X1 here. Happy Tuesday! Guys, I'm sorry. Okay, this Friday, July... Let me see what day. July 16th! Wheel of Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1 finale. So make sure you guys turn on the notification bell. This is probably the greatest episode you guys will ever see in your entire life. Hiccups. Anyways, I'm coming at you with a Dark Magician deck profile today. This deck profile is super duper awesome. I think it's super duper fire. You guys need to check this deck out if you guys are huge fans of Dark Magician and Yu-Gi. Man, this whole week is gonna be filled with a bunch of awesome deck profiles. So if you guys have any deck profile requests, please make sure to leave it in the comment section below. Guys, I'm excited for this deck, man. I think it's really powerful, really broken, really godly Dark Magician deck update for the July 2021 ban list. All right, guys, don't waste any more of your time. Smash thumbs up button, subscribe. Without further ado, Dark Magician, the ultimate wizards in terms of triple copies of Mago Negro. This card is absolutely phenomenal. For every Dark Magician based deck, you must play 3 copies of Dark Magician. You know, no need to further explain this card. Once you summon this card, you basically just win the duel, and he's the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. So triple copies of my boy, Dark Magician, absolutely phenomenal. Next, we're gonna play, of course, the 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl. She's still bae. The reason why I play her is because Pot of Greed is very nice, you know, Soul Servant, while having Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl in the graveyard becomes Pot of Greed every single turn. So Dark Magician Girl comes up a lot for that purpose. Also, at the same time, bringing out the Dark Magicians is really great. And when the Dark Magician dies, you can special out Dark Magician Girl and also Dark Magician directly from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is absolutely phenomenal. So Dark Magician Girl is very nice. And last but not least, we're gonna play, of course, the 1 Red Eyes Bee Dragon for your vanilla monster. This is really important because of your Red Eyes Fusion that you're playing in the deck. Dragoon is probably one of the strongest Dark Magician type monster you'll ever see in today's game. Once you drop Dragoon, you're basically just gonna win the duel. So Red Eyes is in there for that purpose. Now, off to your starters, you wanna play triple copies of Magician's Rod. This card is absolutely phenomenal. When this card is summoned, you basically get to search a Dark Magician spell or trap directly from your deck to your hand, and during your opponent's turn, you can easily recycle this card. So it's one of the best toolbox utility cards for the entire deck to get access to your Dark Magician spell and trap cards every single turn, which is really important. So triple copies of Rod, absolutely mandatory to play in the deck. Next off, you're gonna play triple copies of Magician Souls. I understand that this card is a little bit expensive right now, but this card is absolutely necessary to play in a Dark Magician based deck. The fact that it can special summon Dark Magician to trigger off your circle is insane. The fact that it can draw multiple cards is insane. And the fact that it can just special summon itself to your side of the field to help get access to your Link 1 plays is absolutely incredible. One of the best utility cards and extenders for the entire deck, hands down. So triple copies of Souls, absolutely mandatory to play in the deck. Last but not least, for your Dark Magician extenders, you're gonna play 2 copies of Apprentice Illusion Magician. You can discard 1 card to special summon her from your hand and then search a Dark Magician. So you're gonna be basically replacing the card you discarded with Dark Magician, and she's essentially a damage step Kalut. You know, when a Dark Spellcaster monster battles an opponent monster, you can send this card from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard. That monster you control gains 2,000 attack and defense during that damage calculation only. So she's really good. You guys all know that Dragoon cannot be targeted, so this card doesn't target like Alistair, where Alistair says you need to target a fusion monster. So you obviously can't use Alistair to target Dragoon. Whereas Apprentice Illusion Magician, during damage calculation in either player's turn, if your other Dark Spellcaster type monster battles opponent monster, you can send this card from your hand or face it from field to the graveyard. That monster you control gains 2,000 attack and defense, which does not target whatsoever, right? So she's really great with Dragoons, and it's also one of those cards that you want to have multiple bodies on the board, so that way that you can get access to your Predator Clan Verde Anaconda if you don't open up with Red Eyes Fusion. So she's really important in the deck. Next off, for your Dark Magician spells, you're gonna play triple copies of Dark Magical Circle, one of the best interruptions for the deck, hands down, and it also activates the top 3 cards of your deck. And if you reveal a Dark Magician or a spell trap card that's specifically listed in Dark Magician, you can add that to your hand, which is really, really good. So triple copies of Circle, absolutely mandatory to play in your deck. Next off, same thing goes for Soul Servant. Card's really good. It helps you stack any card on the top of your deck. Specifically stacking Souls and Rod and getting you access to those cards every single time is absolutely amazing. Also, at the same time, you can banish this card from the graveyard to draw X amount of cards equal to Dark Magician Girl in the grave. If you have Dark Magician in the graveyard only, you draw 1 card. If you have both Dark Magician Girl and also Dark Magician, you draw 2 cards. So this card essentially becomes a Pot of Greed every single turn, and I'll showcase you guys that combo near the end of the video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Next, we're gonna play triple copies of Red Eyes Fusion. This deck needs to play triple copies of Red Eyes Fusion. Like, you resolve Red Eyes Fusion, bring out Dragoons, sit on Dragoons on top of Eternal Soul and Magical Circle, then you just basically win the duel. Best way to get access to Dragoon is off Predator Plant Verde Anaconda. If you don't have access to Verde Anaconda, the best route towards making Dragoon is obviously opening up Red Eyes Fusion. You activate this card, you're more likely just gonna win the game. Summon Dragoon, set a couple cards, have a couple hand traps, you basically just win the duel right here. And if you have multiple copies of Red Eyes Fusion, you can always use this card as a free fodder for your Magician's Souls to draw more cards, right? Which is really good. So triple copies of Fusion. And last but not least, you'll play the one Secrets of Dark Magic to round off for your fusion spells. You can also make Dark Magicians with this as well, which is incredible. Next for your Dark Magician traps, you're gonna play 2 copies of Eternal Soul. And obviously, one of the best extenders in the entire deck, helps you recur Dark Magician every single turn. Every Dark Magician in Monster Zone is unaffected by your opponent card effects. So essentially, any cards that were to try to target it, it is unaffected by it. So imagine having Eternal Souls, Dragoon, and also Dark Magician on the field. It's just a pretty crazy board with a built-in protection, right? Which is great. And every turn you're able to just recur back Dark Magician is just incredible. So double Eternal Soul. Next off for your traps, these cards can be any traps you guys would like, but I feel like these traps are just the best traps in today's format. So of course we're playing triple copies of Solemn Strike. I love this card. I think this card is one of the best cards going first and also going second. Card's really good at going second and actually breaking boards. So Solemn Strike is really good. One of the best generic counter trap cards in today's metagame, 100%. Helps breaks those boards with, you know, ultimateness or hero perfection. Solemn Strike is just absolutely ridiculous. So triple copies of Strike. Next, I play a bunch of hand traps, and the reason why hand traps are so good this format is because combo decks like Tri Brigade literally lose to 1 card, and same thing with Mubeta Fafnir. Like, Drytrons are really glass cannon. Obviously, sometimes they have so many extenders and they just summon perfection before they combo off. But the fact that sometimes just Veiloring the Mubeta just ends their entire turn is insane. So for this version, I decided to opt out on actually playing more hand traps over the traps, because traps lose to Twin Twister, Harpy's Feather Duster, Evenly Match, Cosmic Cyclones, etc, etc. Whereas hand traps are trap cards that you keep in your hand, so you don't have to lose or risk yourself on actually getting Twin, Feather Duster, Evenly, and things like that, right? So I felt like Veiler is just really, really good. Really great against Tri Brigade. Tri Brigade is literally everywhere in today's format, and the fact that they just summon Kit, banish for cost, you can just chain Veiler and then their turn basically ends, and then you can just combo off, right? And if you're going second and you let them combo off, it's going to be a little bit harder to break their board instead of just actually preventing them from actually making their initial board, right? Because for Tri Brigades, the only other extender that they have other than normal summon is Ceres, and if you're able to just hand trap their initial normal summon and then stop their 1 extra extender, you pretty much just win the duel, right? So I feel like hand traps are just very strong in this format, especially Effect Veiler, really good against overall like every single deck in today's meta. Triple copies of Imperm, more copies of Veiler is also really, really nice. Like, it's one of those trap cards that you can set or hold in your hand, which is really, really good. So against Tri Brigades, like, this card is just insane. Imperm. Next up, I'm playing triple copies of Ash Blossom as well. One of the best generic hand traps in today's metagame, in my personal opinion. So triple Ash, really good against Engage, which is really nice. And last but not least, you're playing triple copies of Ghost Spell. I believe is like the most high impact hand trap right now. The fact that it can stop Revolt literally wins you the game. Like, you stop the Revolt, you win the duel. So Ghost Spell is amazing. So total right there, you have about 12 hand traps with 3 Solemn Strikes. These 12 hand traps could be any card you guys prefer. Remember guys, at the end of the day, it's all up to personal preference on what you guys want to play in your own deck. But I feel like throughout testing, hand traps is just really, really good in this format. And most of the time, you're always trading anyways, right? Like, you're gonna go Imperm on the Kit, they pass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it stops the turn regardless, right? If they don't have any extenders. So that's pretty much it for the main deck. Let's go on to the extra deck real quick. For the extra deck, to start out with the XCs, of course, 1 Big Eye, 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal, 1 Ebon Illusion Magician, and last but not least, the 1 Zeus. You know what I mean? Like, you have XCs in your deck, Zeus becomes really, really good. Next, we're gonna play the Dark Magicians, Red Eyes, Dark Dragoons. This card is your win condition. You summon this card, you win the duel. And also, you can easily revive back Dragoons with cards like Selene. Selene is really good in this deck, in my opinion. So that's for your 2 Fusion and Selene. Same thing with Access Code and also Haki Fibrax as well. You know, Haki Fibrax brings the Veiler, overlay into Selene. Selene brings back Dragoon. You pretty much just win the game from there on in. Or you can easily make Access Code, which is really nice as well. So next, the Link Spider, which is really nice. The Link Rebo, IP Masquerena. Of course, last but not least, we're gonna play the Predator Verde Anaconda, help get access into your Red Eyes Fusion, your Nightmare Unicorn, and last but not least, your Nightmare Phoenix to drawn off for all the monsters that you're playing in the extra deck right here. So that's pretty much for the deck profile, guys. The deck is still really standard, and I'm gonna transition off to showcase you guys a very standard combo that you guys can do with this deck for this specific build right here. Alright guys, let's go on with the bread and butter combo for this Dark Magician base deck. All you need is Souls and Rod. So what can you do with his hand? So first and foremost, you're gonna normal summon Magician's Rod, activate Rod's effect to search Soul Servant directly from your deck to your hand. Now what you do is that you're gonna reveal Magician Souls by sending Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard to special summon itself to your side of the field. Now what's gonna happen next is really simple. You're gonna use Souls and also Rod, link these two. You're gonna make Predator Plant Verde Anaconda. You're gonna activate Anaconda's effect, send Red Eyes Fusion, Red Eyes, Dark Magician, to summon, of course, your Red Eyes of Dark Dragoons right here, okay? So this is Dragoons is off 2 cards. Now you next, you're gonna activate your Soul Servant. It depends on what you have at this point, okay? If you have in your hand already Eternal Soul, you're gonna wanna stack the Dark Magical Circle. So we're gonna put Eternal Soul to the top of our deck right here, because Soul Servant lets you stack the card chosen. Now, since you have Dark Magician and also Dark Magician Girl, both in the graveyard, you get to banish your Soul Servant from your grave to draw 2 cards. So the card you're gonna draw is Eternal Soul and 1 random unknown card. So this is the unknown card that you're gonna draw, okay? And the unknown card can just be a card that you can use to discard our Dragoons. If it's a hand trap, great. If it's not, you can just easily send it to the graveyard for Dragoon's effect negation anyways, right? So now at this point, usually, ideally, you wanna have your circle that's already on the board. If you have circle on the board, you're pretty much doing the duel. This is an additional interruption on the field, which is really nice. And now you're just gonna set 1 card face down and just end your turn at this point. So this is your ending board right here. You have Dragoons, draw 2, with a potential interruption with Eternal Soul and also Dark Magical Circle. On your opponent's turn, bring back your Dark Magician that's in your graveyard, okay, which is really great. Banish a card your opponent controls using Circle's effect if you have Circle. Also at the same time, you can easily use Rod's effect to just tribute off the Dark Magician to add this card back to your hand anyways, which is really good. So the following turn, you have a follow-up, which is nice. A follow-up plus draw 2 is really good. Now it goes back to your turn. You draw 1 random card. It doesn't matter what it is. You still have, of course, your Rod that you added to your hand. What you can do is very simple. You can normal summon Rod, activate Rod's effect. You can search your Soul Servant. You activate your Soul Servant. You want to stack your Magician Souls to the top of your deck. Now, what's going to happen next is very simple. You're going to banish your Soul Servant. You're going to draw 2 cards since you have Dark Magician and also your Dark Magician Girl in the graveyard. So you draw 2 more cards. Okay, so you drew into the Souls and 1 unknown. Remember, these are all the cards that we added to our hand. Which is actually really good. The cards that we drew. So these are just all the cards that we drew, by the way, which is really good. Assuming that we're just using only 2 cards, right? So now what we can do next is that we can activate Souls, reveal Souls, send Dark Magician to the grave, activate Souls, send it to the graveyard to special send Dark Magician from your grave. Now you can trigger off Eternal Soul. Remember, this is your turn, so you can activate it. So you can special send Dark Magician to your field. And now it gets really crazy because with these you can make, if you want, you can make Red Eyes Flare, and detach material special in Red Eyes from your graveyard. It's just like some pretty cool plays that you can do on the following turn with literally just 2 cards. And then if you want to break the board even more, you can even use Rod and Predator Plant to even make cards a Unicorn to just shuffle back a card. Or if you want to do that, you can even make an IP for your opponent's turn for interruption. That's pretty much it for a very basic combos and some follow-up plays that you guys can have access to. I just want to give you guys a little bit of insight on what the deck can do, which is 2 cards. I think it's very fun. I think it's very control heavy. If you are able to accomplish this board, you're pretty much just going to win the duel. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash thumbs up button. And that's pretty much it. This is your boy Sam from Team Star Sam signing out. Alright guys, peace.